How's it going, everyone? It's Danny, and welcome back to another video. Where today, as I mentioned from earlier when I reacted to the Mrs. Puff theory, I am going to be reacting to 2 videos in one day since I missed yesterday. Yeah, no. I was sick, and I was sick for the past 2 days, and I was busy editing my latest Supersonic Danny video, which you can check out in the link in the description below, please. I need that revenue. But anyway, today we're going to react to Spongebob Conspiracy 4, The Evolution Theory. Once again, by Alex Bale. Please check them out. The past 3 Spongebob theories have been absolutely mind-blowing. You need to go check out his videos. And also his short films. I checked them out myself, and they're pretty decent. If I were you, I would check them out right now. But I'm not you, so if you don't want to, you don't have to. But anyway, as always, original link in the description, along with the original channel in the description below, along with the latest Supersonic Danny video. But with all that being said, let's get into the video. Hold on. Alright, let's go ahead and start this in 3, 2, 1, play.
Are the Bikini Bottom citizens the result of nuclear radiation?
Okay, right off the bat.
Who is Pearl's mother? What is the Krabby Patty's secret formula? These are by far the 3 biggest questions in the show,
But on the nuclear atoll, the Bikini Atoll thing, I haven't been worried about. Well, I kind of was at first, but then I watched that on that what was it, that one episode where we went back in time and saw SpongeBob's rock ancestor. It was like the Flintstones, but yeah, it was like the Flintstones, but SpongeBob. So yeah, I don't really know about the nuclear thing.
Bob SquarePants, and today I'm going to be answering all 3 of them
and
more with just one theory. Get ready for the darkest SpongeBob conspiracy you'll ever see. This is the Evolution Theory. We're back with another SpongeBob conspiracy. Guess I'm the SpongeBob guy now. That's all I make. You guys sure love these SpongeBob theories.
Alex Bale out with another video.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Interfere to put in their own message to brainwash you people. Squilliam sends the doctor in. He's not really a doctor. He's just trying to infiltrate that little round thing on his head there. Oh my God! Thank God for Alex Bale. Look at that. He's helping me prove my point. You know what? That is awesome.
Maybe some of you love them a little too much. You know, I got other videos, right? I make films and stuff too. Anyone want to watch those? Anyways, by far the most popular SpongeBob theory out there is the Bikini Atoll nuclear radiation theory. It's pretty simple. It's been confirmed that Bikini Bottom is actually beneath a real-life place called Bikini Atoll. From 1946 to 1958, the United States did nuclear tests there, devastating the area and leaving it radioactive even to this day. The theory states that the reason why the citizens of Bikini Bottom can talk and have formed advanced societies is because of mutations caused by these nuclear tests. And that's about the whole theory. Even though there's tons and tons of videos about it, none of them actually go in depth with it or really look through the show for evidence. But y'all know that if Alex Bale is making a theory on it, then it's not going to be some baby surface level analysis. I will watch every single episode of SpongeBob. I will read every page of the goddamn Wikipedia. If I'm making a theory on it, then you guys know it's going to be good. And once I really started looking into this theory, I realized that there is so much more here than anyone thinks. Get ready, because today we're going to be solving the biggest mysteries in the history of SpongeBob SquarePants and changing the way you look at the entire show. So without further ado, let's begin the theory.
Alright, part 1, the Bikini Atoll theory.
In order to find out whether the Bikini Atoll theory is true, we first have to determine whether fish talking and being so intelligent is unique to Bikini Bottom, or if that's just the way the SpongeBob universe works. You know, it could just be that all animals in this world are able to talk, and that's completely normal because at the end of the day, SpongeBob is still just a cartoon. Well, if we take a look at Season 10, Episode 10, Feral Friends, we get a bit of a hint about how the SpongeBob world works. In this episode, a green moon appears and transforms all the characters into less cartoony, real-life versions of themselves.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
SpongeBob? Hat trick?
Just like in real life, they can't talk and end up trying to eat each other. The French narrator is watching all this unfold, and he says this very important line.
I have been monitoring the behavior of the green moon all day. It is called Neptune's moon. Every 100 years, it de-evolves everyone in Bikini Bottom into primal fish.
Every 100 years, it de-evolves everyone in Bikini Bottom into primal fish. So this implies that the characters in Bikini Bottom are more evolved and were once like these primal fish. But this doesn't prove that the evolution only exists in Bikini Bottom. It could still be a worldwide phenomenon. Remember that bonus DVD clip I found in my television theory? It was about humans studying fish in Bikini Bottom because of their intelligence.
Land-loving scientists have tried to learn the secrets of intelligence. Their studies led them to the sea, where the citizens of one undersea colony demonstrated a genius so enormous, the scientists felt compelled to record their actions for use in teaching mankind how to live better.
This makes it sound an awful lot like the fish in Bikini Bottom actually are uniquely evolved and it's not some worldwide phase. Then, in the Spongebob 20-year anniversary special, SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, we get a major piece of evidence for this theory. SpongeBob and Patrick take a tour of the surface world and eventually go to a fish store and see some very realistic, less evolved fish.
What kind of monsters would want to keep fish folk in jail like this? They're so beautiful.
They can't talk back to SpongeBob and Patrick, and they're actually able to swim freely through the water instead of being affected by gravity. They are clearly showing us that both evolved and primitive fish exist in this universe at the same time. Now, sometimes we've seen Bikini Bottom characters represented as realistic fish like this, but only when they're out of water, never while they're still in water like these fish. We even see this again in the beginning of the third SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. The movie opens with a coral reef full of these realistic primal fish, but eventually we get to Bikini Bottom where the more evolved fish live. So there you go, direct proof that the citizens of Bikini Bottom are uniquely evolved. This is a very deliberate world-building choice for the creators to make. So I guess that kind of confirms the Bikini Atoll theory. Theory confirmed! We did it! Woo! Well, let's hold on for a second. As much as I'd love to call this theory complete, there's actually one major piece of evidence that gives me some resistance. Something I've never seen anyone else bring up when talking about this theory. Prehistoric Bikini Bottom.
I told you!
Like
I told you!
129 that showed Bikini Bottom millions of years in the past, but we still see evolved versions of SpongeBob and Patrick. Sure, they may not be super intelligent or advanced, but they're still clearly way more evolved than the primitive, realistic versions we see in Feral Friends or in the fish store. So, how are we seeing these evolutions millions of years before the Bikini Atoll tests? Well, unfortunately, I think the only conclusion is that the Bikini Atoll theory just isn't true. I mean, clearly something has caused Bikini Bottom citizens to be uniquely evolved, there's no denying that. But whatever caused it took place millions of years ago and couldn't have been the Bikini Atoll
I swear to God. I remember having arguments with people at my school saying that people are saying the Bikini Bottom is actually Bikini Atoll and it was caused by nuclear tests. And I was like, bro, do you not remember prehistoric SpongeBob? And before you ask, no, I do not have better use for my time.
Tests. Then what really caused the evolution? In the entire show, the only thing we've seen that directly affects the evolution of characters is the Green Moon and Feral Friends.
I will not talk to anyone else who says that.
Except the French narrator specifically calls it Neptune's
nuclear
moon.
test
It is
Bikini Atoll
called
thing.
Neptune's moon.
Named after the ruler of the seven seas, King Neptune. King Neptune is a character who's been around since the beginning of the sea. He's a character who the Bikini Bottom citizens view as their god, and he's a character who has the ability to change fish into other forms.
What the? Oops.
King Neptune used his magic to turn the fish of the sea into more evolved subjects for him to rule over. He's the one who's been behind it all this time. Now, I could spend this entire video talking about King Neptune and his weird continuity and contradictions in the show, but I'll save that for another theory. What I'd much rather talk about are the implications of having evolved and primitive fish coexisting in the sea. Now, we know that this evolution isn't specific to just Bikini Bottom. We've seen different cities and places far across the ocean that still have talking fish, which makes sense because the marine life in Bikini Bottom has evolved to resemble humans, so it's no surprise that just like humans, they've expanded beyond Bikini Bottom and colonized other areas of the sea. But now, I have an interesting question for you. What is the relationship between evolved fish and primitive unevolved fish? Well, they probably just peacefully coexist in the sea without bothering each other. You know, just like real-life humans and animals. Wait a second.
How did you make the human race look as worse as it really is? Oh my god. I mean, at this point, we already know the humans kind of suck, but Alex Bale just made the human race even more like jackasses than they really are. Anyway, part 2, the war.
In Season 3, Episode 10, the Krusty Krab training video, there is this hilarious, absurd moment when they're talking about Mr. Krabs.
After the war, Krabs stayed secluded in a deep depression that seemed endless.
Like, what war happened in Bikini Bottom? They just tell us this and then completely drop it. But with this new context, is it possible that Krabs fought in a war against these primitive, wild fish of the sea? I mean, let's remember in Feral Friends, some of those de-evolved fish were massive compared to the evolved fish, and they immediately started attacking each other.
The battle for the survival of the fittest rages on in the animal kingdom.
So yeah, in order for the Bikini Bottom citizens to survive and expand, they would probably break into some kind of war. And from the sounds of it, this war must have been pretty brutal to put Mr. Krabs into such a deep depression. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Is there actually any evidence that proves the war Mr. Krabs fought in was specifically this evolutionary war? Well, through the few flashbacks we get, we know that Mr. Krabs served in the Navy. And yes, they were sailing ships on an ocean even though they're already underwater. Yeah, this is actually a real life phenomenon where certain parts of the sea can have a higher level of salinity and it looks like an underwater ocean. Shout out Miss Parks, my high school marine biology teacher. We also know from maps of Bikini Bottom that the town is surrounded by this underwater ocean. So that places Mr. Krabs' war outside of Bikini Bottom where this evolutionary war would have to take place. Then if we take a look at Mr. Krabs' home, we see it is full of memorabilia from his past days in the Navy. But hidden within here is something that will absolutely blow your mind and answer one of the biggest questions in the show. Hanging there on his wall is a picture of a massive whale next to a ship. You don't think that could be... No, it can't be. Pearl's mother? Pearl is Mr. Krabs' whale daughter. The show never really explains how a crab can be the father of a whale, but most people just assume she was adopted. People have been speculating about who Pearl's biological mother is for years, and I think we finally just found our answer. We see 2 photos of this whale on a ship in Season 3, Episode 9, just 1 episode before we find out Mr. Krabs fought in a war. Since this is among all of Mr. Krabs' Navy stuff, I think we can assume that this is something he encountered and not just some random picture of a whale on a ship above the ocean. The whale is massive compared to the ship. We've seen adult whales in Bikini Bottom before, but they are nothing compared to the size of this whale. This has a much closer resemblance to Pearl when she de-evolved in Feral Friends and became massive. So this has to be an unevolved primitive whale, and the picture clearly shows them fighting. Not only does this prove that there was a war between evolved and primitive fish, but Mr. Krabs definitely fought in it. But this also implies something very dark. Mr. Krabs killed Pearl's mother. The only direct reference we get in the show to Pearl's mother is one of Mr. Krabs' many sayings, Mother of Pearl.
Mother of Pearl! Mother of Pearl! Holy Mother of Pearl!
He uses it in places something like holy crap or dear God, only saying it when something truly shocking or terrible happens, because he knows the terrible thing that happened to Pearl's mother. Why did Mr. Krabs go into such a deep depression after the war? Because he's haunted by what he's done, and the smoking harpoon to prove it is right there on his wall. So that leaves us with an important question. Why did he adopt Pearl? After he killed her mother, he probably realized she had an infant daughter who had the evolutionary genes. Instead of leaving her to die, he adopted her as his own, all while keeping the dark secret that he was responsible for her mother's death. Woo! Childhood ruined yet? Well, don't worry, there's still time for this theory to get even worse. Now's your chance to remove yourself before things get really dark.
Barbara thinks it's really dark. Well, my childhood was killed long ago, so I think that should be fine.
Still here? Okay, so here's a fun question. What's the deal with all the pets in Bikini Bottom? How come most fish are basically humans, but a snail or a worm acts like a pet? Well, just like humans have domesticated wild animals, it should be no surprise that evolved fish have domesticated primitive fish as pets. Unlike the massive primitive fish that the Bikini Bottom citizens had to go to war with, there's also smaller primitive fish like jellyfish, snails, spirit worms, seahorses, and clams that the Bikini Bottom citizens were able to form a symbiotic relationship with. Aww, and I thought you said this was gonna be the dark part, Alex. Alex. They're living peacefully together. That's nice. Okay, you got me. Here's another fun question. Where do the citizens of Bikini Bottom get their food? I mean, sure, some of it is plant-based, but there sure does seem to be an awful lot of meat-based food under the sea. I think you know where I'm going with this. The Bikini Bottom citizens eat primitive fish. Haha, it's not cannibalism if they're less evolved than you, right? There's no moral dilemma there. In Season 3, Episode 13...
I guess you could say that unless I'm saying a human eating a monkey. Although no normal person would do that. What does monkey taste like?
We see direct proof of this when the characters go fishing for primitive clams. This is something completely normal in this world. And then there's the chum bucket, which sells chum. Chum. Chum is literally just ground up fish. The show isn't even hiding this. Now, we don't really see too much of the meat harvesting side of Bikini Bottom, and I'm not surprised they're keeping it on the DL, you know, with the whole cannibalism thing, but there is one secret to making food that is kept more secret than anything in Bikini Bottom. The best kept secret in the entire show. You already know what I'm gonna say, the Krabby Patty secret formula.
I just used my Dunkin' Rewards.
My gosh, I was gonna wait a little bit, but since the ad interrupted it for me, I just want to say that unlike the Bikini Atoll thing, I've had so many arguments with people at my school about the Krabby Patty secret formula, how it's made out of crabs, since the only crab that we see is Mr. Krabs, which is completely BS. Because we see Mr. Krabs' mother. There was that one episode when he got his father, his grandfather, and even he even called out his ancestors. And not to mention, Mr. Krabs went to that contest. I think it was a contest for like who can be the cheapest, and it was a bunch of crabs squeezed together to see who's the cheapest. Like, is Mr. Krabs cheap, or is this other crab cheap? See, that is the BS part, because there are so many other crabs that we see throughout the show. Now I cannot wait what Alex has to say, so that way I can literally punch it in someone else's face at my school.
Throughout the show, there's been lots of contradictory evidence about the Krabby Patty secret formula. In Season 4, Episode 7, Mr. Krabs says it's an old family recipe.
Your mother knows the Krabby Patty formula? Of course she does! It's an old Krabs family recipe!
But in Season 5, Episode 1, apparently Mr. Krabs discovered it on his own by accidentally mixing random ingredients together.
I've done it! I discovered the perfect patty batter!
Sometimes it's a secret formula, sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's a secret sauce, and any glimpse we get of the formula is just random nonsense. There is a ton of contradictory evidence out there, but I think this might all be intentional. In order to throw people off, Mr. Krabs has spread misinformation about the Krabby Patty formula. In fact, he's already done this in Season 3, Episode 18, by hiding a fake formula for Plankton to find that says he's the secret ingredient.
Mixed together with the most important ingredient of all,
4 heaping pounds of freshly ground plankton.
And the contradictions aren't just inside the show. Even one of the Spongebob crew members once said that Krabby Patties are vegetarian and contain no meat. But I've always been a little suspicious about what the creators say. They've also said that they're not allowed to show fish as food, except they clearly do with chum, clam fishing, and all the many gags where fish turn into food. It's almost like they're not allowed by Nickelodeon to publicly acknowledge this because that could create a controversy, but they could still sneak this dark secret into the show. So what is the true secret ingredient? Where does the meat really come from? It's strange, we never really see Mr. Krabs get the meat delivered, or at least go out himself to get it. It's almost like he has all the meat he needs stockpiled somewhere. What primitive meat can Mr. Krabs have access to? Maybe he's been holding on to something from the war. What can Mr. Krabs have killed during the war that he doesn't want anyone to find out about? Something big enough to supply him with meat for years without needing more. What could that be? You really gonna make me say it? Mr. Krabs is using Pearl's dead mother's carcass to make Krabby Patties. Woo! We did it! Yeah, we solved the mystery! We did it! I'm so glad. Season 1, Episode 15, Sleepy Time. Mr. Krabs has a dream that he's on a boat fishing for a massive dollar. This is his memory of killing Pearl's mother, except now all he sees her as is money. And take a guess what name he calls the dollar.
What you doing, Mr. Krabs?
I'm picking Neptune's pocket.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about cold, hard flipping cash. It's the
mighty Moby Dollar!
Moby Dollar, a direct reference to Moby Dick, a story about hunting a whale. Are you kidding me? And that is the evolution theory. I warned you guys this would be a dark one. The Bikini Atoll theory,
Wow.
King Neptune, Pearl's mother, the Krabby Patty formula. We hit everything in this theory. Even if you don't agree with all of it, you gotta admit a lot of this makes sense. Eugene Krabs' aspirations for money and greed have caused him to do terrible, terrible things. At least his love for Pearl seems to be real, so maybe there's some small amount of good in him. And even though Pearl's mother probably provides tons of meat, eventually he's gonna run out and he'll have to face what he's done. Well, unless of course there's another whale he has access to.
No.
Nope. Nope. No. No. Mr. Krabs wouldn't do that. He loves Pearl. He's not just raising her for Krabby Patty meat. Even Mr. Krabs isn't that much of a monster.
From every side I've ever seen to the sweetest sound I've heard, I'd gladly give up everything for all the money that I've earned.
Huh. Well, alrighty then, that's the end of that theory. Just gonna end it here before there's any more dark plot twists. You guys have been insanely supportive with these SpongeBob theories, so I guess I have to make more. I've been your host, Alex Bale. Thanks for watching.
Hey. Oh, this is like the ending to the last one. Oh, yep. More raw meat. Voice track.
Hey, just want to let you know that I think I'm gonna take a break from the SpongeBob videos for a little bit. It's not you. I mean, the videos are great. People love them. It's just, I think I want to go back to making actual films for a bit. Okay then. Thanks for everything. I guess I'll just see you around.
When I found you were unnoticed and unloved. But now you have millions of views. You have sponsors. Why would you forsake them?
I just, I don't want to really make these videos forever, I don't want to be known as the SpongeBob guy.
My boy, you really think they will care about your little films? I am your muse. I have given you the gift of knowledge. If you wish to go back to anonymity, then be my guest. But I know who you really are.
Wow. I have no words. All that was just insane. That was so crazy. Guys, listen. listen to me. Listen. Alex only has 7,000 subscribers. Please go check out his channel and subscribe to him. He is so good at these videos, and I don't care what that slimy demon thing in this garage has to say about it. His films are pretty decent. I would highly recommend you check them out. And the SpongeBob theories, they're so stunning. They only left me frozen. Absolutely frozen. I had no commentary on it. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video, and I'm gonna check out the SpongeBob Conspiracy number 5 tomorrow. I promise this time. I will react to number 5 tomorrow. But until then, I'll see you guys then. If that makes sense. Deuces. Man, I'm tired.